Hey, everybody, and welcome to tonight's Let's Talk Autism with Autism and Us. If you are brand new to our Let's Talk Autism open discussion um, lives, what this is all about is just another of our social gatherings where we come together to learn, share, and support one another on this journey that we call autism with our loved ones who are on the spectrum. For those of you who don't know me, I am Nita. I am one of the admins, and we are waiting for Linda and see if Mr. Charles is around. Put the link in there for you. Hope everybody is doing okay this evening. I've been running racket. It has been a busy end of the year. I've been working and, among other things, getting ready for the holiday. How are you guys been? Let's see who's here. Hey, Teresa, how are you? Mr. Charles, I put the link in the chat for you. Hey, Danielle, how you doing, girl? Victoria, hello. Hi, Stephen. Michelle, how are you? And there's Mr. Charles.
Hi, Nita.
Mr. Charles, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine. How about you, Nita?
Good, good. So I didn't have a focused topic. I'm waiting on Linda. Maybe she does. She has a topic for this evening. But as of right now, it's open discussion. Um, you guys, for those of you who are new, just if you have a question, you want to share something, throw it in the chat. If you are someone who can help with a question that someone has, please feel free to chime in. That's what we're here for, to support one another and learn from one another. Um, Hi, Holly. We are waiting for the rain to stop and switch over to snow. Ooh,
Oh,
ooh.
that's cool. Where do you live, Holly?
Yes. Where do you live? We had a little rain yesterday here. Michelle says, I'm good, just watching some football. All right.
Okay. Oh, I watched some good Ravens football earlier today. Cindy's nephew is
Uh-huh.
a linebacker for the Ravens. Uh,
Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah. And and in fact, I saw him sack the quarterback at least once in the game, and Ravens ended up winning. They ran back in overtime. They ran back a punt for a touchdown to win the game.
Oh, well, all right. All right. Excuse me, my phone. Victoria says she took the kids to a light parade last night. Oh, I knew that was beautiful. They were so good and had so much fun. But then Andrew fussed all night long, and neither he or I got any sleep. Oh, uh,
Yeah, yeah. So that's Hanukkah, I take it. Yeah.
upstate New York. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. 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 I'm next door in Connecticut. I'm on the coast of Connecticut, and here we're expected to get just rain, and a lot of wind.
No snow yet. Hey, Monique, how
Yeah.
are you?
Yeah. Earlier, northern Connecticut did get a little of snow once, but even then, it wasn't that much.
Okay, okay.
I think
We
we
had a
saw a
little
few
snow.
flakes here, but just a few flakes, and they melted upon contact.
Okay. We had a little bit of snow. I think was it week before last. It didn't last long, thank goodness. But I know it's coming. The big
Yeah.
stuff is coming real soon.
Well, I know in Michigan, I remember the blizzard of January 26, 1967. They canceled classes at Michigan State for one day, and they probably would have canceled them for longer. But uh, some students were doing some really stupid things, like jumping from the top of six-story residence halls into snowdrifts. They
Oh my
managed to come
goodness.
away with just broken legs, nothing worse. But after that, they decided they better reopen classes.
Oh wow. And Michelle said, keep that stuff up north. I don't want it. Um, yeah, okay. Linda's on her way. I just inboxed her, so she's on her way. Um, hey Beth, how are you?
Hi, Beth.
So, well, while we're waiting on Linda, what do you guys have planned for the holidays for your loved ones? Those of you who celebrate the holidays coming up, what do you have planned? What do you do during this time to, especially being around family and friends, to help your loved ones during the holiday time? Beth says, been helping my oldest move all weekend. Yeah, I can imagine. Ooh, I hate moving. I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michelle says, we had snow before Thanksgiving, and these fools caused so many accidents. I hate it. Yeah,
Well, the
people start
first snow is
acting like they
always the
don't know how to
worst.
drive, huh? Go ahead, Mr.
Snow is
Charles.
always the worst because even people who know how to drive in snow often some of them forget how to drive in snow,
Yeah.
from season to season. So, it's the first snow of the year, and also the road crews don't quite have their act together for the first one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm hoping they have it together for us this year. There's Linda.
I remember the time I was coming home from work when we had rain that changed into snow, and that's the worst because the rain washes away the pre-treatment of the roads. And so the pre-treatment of the roads doesn't do any good for the snow when it rains first and changes the snow. But on the way home from work, I remember this is back in 2011. Uh,
Mhm.
I knew I wasn't in the army. You know how I knew that?
How you know?
Because I was behind the plow. The song "You're in the army now, you're not behind a plow."
Oh, Lord, Mr. Charles. Okay. Uh, how are you this evening, Linda?
I'm good. How is everyone else?
Good, good, good.
Hey, everyone.
Um,
And Linda,
Monique says the
Hey,
holidays
Charles.
are tough right now, but I'm going to try to make it as normal as I can. Understood. Yeah, it's tough for us too over here. Um, Roxy, hey Roxy, hey everyone. Hope you all are doing well, doing good, doing good.
yeah.
These people cannot drive when it's dry here.
Oh wow, yeah, that's bad enough. Yeah.
That's really bad. How's the weather out there, Linda, in Cali?
It's clear, but it's cold. It's been running about 35, but it's clear though, so it looks nice until yeah you start getting
Yeah.
close to the outdoors. Yeah.
Beth says my husband drives truck. He said you can keep Detroit neither. He said too much construction. Yes, yes, it drives me nuts. And the roads have too many different names for the same. Yeah, that's true too. But yeah, this construction. I mean, I've been detoured so many times. And yesterday I forgot one strip of the one of our freeways was closed, and it's already bad enough. I got to hit three of them to get home. But then when one is closed and then they detour you on another one, then you're going all out your way. I missed one turn and had to go way out another way just to make a turnaround. It's ridiculous.
Here it's raining and the temperature is 13. So
Celsius,
yeah,
right?
yeah. But yeah, I know about those freeways in Detroit. There's the one freeway where they used to have a place where you could get off the highway, and if you needed to sleep for the night, there's a place you could do that. Or if you just needed to use the facilities, there's a place you could do that. And those they had a
That's not.
John, as they had a John and a Lodge. So that's why they call it the John Lodge Freeway.
Oh goodness. Yeah, the John Lodge Freeway is a popular one here, but it's a local, pretty local. um, Scott, hi, how are you? Hi guys, new here. Well, welcome. I have a daughter. She was diagnosed with autism when she was 16 and a junior in high school. She is now 20 and has no in person friends. All of them are online. She is also ADHD, as I am too. Meds for ADHD and depression and anxiety. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I have kind of the reverse thing. My daughter was the one who, led me to my diagnosis. Actually, she does have ADHD. She later figured that out, and got diagnosed for that, and she's taking medication for that. But she, is one who, led me into getting my diagnosis of autism.
Mhm. So, can I please ask a favor of you guys? If you're in here, can you hit the like, the love, the care button, please? Show some love for us as you come in or while you're in. um, okay, Victoria says, do you ever have issues with a friend or family member telling your child maybe, but your child doesn't hear, comprehend the maybe, so they end up counting on it? Oh, wow. Like my son in law told Molly that maybe she could go shopping with them, but Molly doesn't understand maybes, so she's counting on going shopping with. Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah. You need to explain to that friend or family member, you know, uh, that your child cannot understand maybe, and that they take a maybe as a definite, and so whatever they say to the child, don't ever tell them maybe this or maybe that. If they don't,
just wait till the day
uh, if,
of.
yeah, if they don't know if they're going to be able to do something, don't say anything.
Mhm. Right. Yeah, I would definitely. I probably would. Yeah, let them know. Just don't. If you're gonna take her, then just come when it's time, when you think you can.
Of course, the other thing that people on autism spectrum can have difficulty with is the fact that sometimes something is stated without the word maybe, and
Hmm.
then something comes up that changes the whole situation, and what you thought was going to happen can't happen. I mean, in
Hmm.
one case, I remember reading online a mother whose daughter, had a doozy of a meltdown because an amusement ride that her mother had said she would take her on wasn't working when the day came to take her on the ride, and the ride simply was out of order. I mean, you can't control that.
Right.
Sometimes that happens that you and of course, part of that too is you just have to be careful what promises you make to a person, especially a child on the spectrum, because they might not be
They
able
take
to
it to heart.
understand. They
Yeah.
might not understand that there are things that are beyond your control that may erase all your good intentions.
Mm-hmm.
They
I
make
think
all
too,
your good intentions, you know, unfulfillable.
and I think telling them that um, if they want to answer, it has to be a precise answer, whether it's yes or no. And if they do say yes and it happens to change, okay, something beyond our control. Um, but then if they say no, she can just have it out right there if she's upset about it, instead of thinking that she's going to go the whole time. Say she's waiting for like 2 hours thinking she's going, but she's not going, and then she, has built up to a different type of meltdown. So it's simply yes or no in the moment, whatever the answer really is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and sometimes if it's a question that they're answering, don't be shy about saying I don't know.
Right.
Better to say I don't know than to give an answer the child is not going to understand.
Mm-hmm. Roxy says we were under tornado watch all day and all night. Oh wow. It was hot yesterday and today it's freezing. That's Bama for you. Oh yeah, that's Michigan too.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I heard they had some really bad. Ooh, come on now, Sammy. They had some really bad tornadoes in Tennessee. Was it Tennessee or Texas?
Yeah, it was Tennessee, Kentucky, and I forgot the other one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Right, Danielle. Two seasons. Winter and construction. Either the snow is coming down or orange barrels are going up. Yep, that is so true.
Yeah, well, when I was in college, it wasn't like that. I mean, you had a winter. There's one, the last winter, in my senior year there, that winter, you got a lot of snow early in the winter. Then we got some unseasonably warm weather, and the snow melted, and the rivers overflowed the banks. The Red Cedar River, flooded the baseball field there, and even the flooding extended a little ways over the walkway that I used to go to class. So I could truthfully tell people that I had to ford the Red Cedar River on the way to class.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Jaden does not deal well with maybe. It's so sad when someone says maybe and they depend on it. Yeah, but they do not show up. Right. They're heartbroken. Just a few days after she was officially confirmed that she has autism, she was hit by a car on the way home. This all happened just before COVID endured. Oh,
Oh,
no.
wow.
I hope she has recovered okay.
Wow.
My entire family was in denial for the diagnosis. I knew it since she was born. Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, can I ask you this, Scott? If you knew, since she was a baby, what took you so long to take her to get the diagnosis? If you don't mind me asking. She was 16 when she got diagnosed. I mean, if you knew there was something going on, um, why did you wait so long? Yeah, exactly. Okay, Linda, can you take over for a minute? I'm gonna
Sure.
go get my coffee.
Yeah, I think
Sure.
too, with the issue of the maybes, it's for most people that that's part of the way people discuss things. Well, they come up with hey, maybe we can do this, maybe we can do that. They hash things out, what would, and planning things, and the problem being that type of plan you got to do out of earshot of the autistic person. If there's an autistic person, particularly a child, going to be included, better do that out of the earshot of that individual.
Yeah. And also, some people do it to avoid saying no. But like I said, if the answer is no, she's going to eventually find out it's no. It's better to just be right out no, instead of, having her think that she has a chance that she might be going.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, that among most people, most people understand an answer of maybe kind of that way. In fact, the way it's said, the manner in which it's said will kind of tell them this person really means no, but they're trying to soften the no by saying maybe. But the autistic person, that's going to go right over their head generally. I mean, now for me, I mean, I'm 77 years old. I've had enough experience dealing with people. I'm better able to understand what maybe means than I would have been 60 years ago. But you know,
Teresa says, last Friday night I was video chatting with a very close childhood friend of mine on my son, and my son David said hi to her, and she got her son on the phone to say hi to my son David, and her son started talking to each other. Oh, David and her son started talking to each other on the video chat, to another boy who also was on the autism spectrum, and they were playing Roblox with each other. They spoke to each other for over 2 hours on video chat, and now they are friends.
that's very nice.
That's good. Um,
Um, Roblox, I thought, isn't that something you see a lot of in a construction zone?
Mr. Charles, Mr. Charles.
uh, Beth says, we told my grandson once that we would take him to Olive Garden when Papa came home off the road. Now, as soon as my husband leaves for work, my grandson says 10 times a day, go to Olive Garden when Papa comes home. Every day for 5 to 6 weeks he's gone. We take him, but told my husband he may need to stay out 3 months. LOL. I'm tired of Olive Garden. That's
Yeah,
the worst when your kid has your kid sticks to something so much that you don't want it anymore because it's always a repeated meal.
yeah. Or you promise to do something on one occasion when something happens. The child thinks that you're saying whenever such and such happens, we're going
Hmm.
to do this.
Like a regular plan.
Yeah, and your intention was one time.
Yeah, we talked about that before. We would take Emily, say if we went to go to the lake for a walk, um, and then like say, oh, let's go get frozen yogurt on the way home. And we'd have to really think about that because then she's going to think every time we go to the lake to walk, afterwards we go get yogurt. So we have to play that one really safe or specifically explain it to her.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we're not going to do this every time.
Yeah. uh, Danielle says, "Hey, Sammy."
Yeah, Sammy, up on my lap,
Oh yeah. Well,
being spoiled.
the Sammy doesn't understand. Hey, he understands woof. You gotta say woof, Sammy.
Woof. Yeah. Now y'all were talking about how our kids are, when they get stuck on one thing. I'm going through the school thing right now. Um, so it's like every day, DeAndre, Central High School. I have to hear it over and over and over again. I'm glad he loves school, but it's nerve wracking.
Hmm. Scott says, one and two are black and white. No gray answer. The question direct. Oh, the question is direct. I have found that to be the best way to answer my kiddo.
Yeah. This the idea too that when this happens, that happens. I remember a couple things that drove my mom up a wall. Once she got tired of fixing artichokes because whenever she fixed those artichokes, I would start telling the same artichoke jokes.
Oh, over and over again, huh?
Yeah,
Okay, so Scott says family would not support it. Okay. I usually ask people not to make plans with my children. Just let me or Hubs know. Yeah. So, and then I guess that would be best because then at that time you can say, okay, if you know they're coming for sure.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
then too, it may be the case where it's a month or two out, even a
Right.
week out, but maybe you don't want to let them know until 1 or 2 days before
yeah.
Right.
because they may keep asking, or like Emily, she will keep asking, but she will also start building up anxiety as she gets closer to that time.
Okay.
It's even like something that I remember I heard in some customer service training, and that's under promise and over deliver. Uh, you know, and that applies, here in this situation. Uh, you know, instead of promising, how about surprising the child with something, if it's particularly something the child wants, the child's going to like, surprise the child with it.
Um, Victoria says, um, thank you. It's a sad situation because son-in-law is now saying Molly is a liar because she told her sister she could go shopping with them, instead saying maybe she could go shopping with them.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, when you have extended family that don't understand,
Mm.
the child, I don't know. Sometimes it's time to consider cutting off extended family members that are not willing to understand, the parameters of your child.
And him saying that um, is just strange, anyways, with the age difference. Um, but those types of things, um, that could be avoided, him calling her a liar.
Oh yeah. Why would he call
It,
her a
it was
liar?
unnecessary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't see any purpose that it served, and that just aggravates the
No. No.
situation.
No. No.
The problem is you can't
Michelle,
control what he does, you know.
exactly.
And if he doesn't respect her needs, time to consider cutting him off.
Michelle says, if I hear maybe, I always see it as no, but get excited when it actually happens. I hate the we will see as well. They all
Yeah.
mean no to me.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
hate that. We will see. That usually is a no.
Mm-hmm.
that's something
Mm-hmm.
I learned as I was growing up, that
No,
we
Sammy. No.
usually
Go.
meant
Go. Go.
no.
Go. Go get your baby. Go get your baby.
Um, Selena says, I have a really important question. My ex-husband has our son going to the doctor that isn't an autism specialist. How can he prescribe meds for my son who is autistic?
It's
If he's a
primary. Yeah.
Yeah, if he's a
Go.
primary physician, he can prescribe medications. If he's in mental health and he's a psychiatrist, he also can prescribe mental health. He also can prescribe medications. He doesn't have to specialize in autism, but it is, it, and even if he
It
doesn't
helps.
specialize, maybe it's one of his areas of knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It does help.
yeah. I mean, I think the best thing is, look, is the medication doing good? Is it doing harm? That's the thing. Look at the results of the medication, and then that's when you can better decide whether this is something to make an issue of.
Yeah, because you might, if you're more concerned of that part of it, um, if the medication has to be changed, if you're worried about if it's not working or something, you may want to get with the specialist if that makes you feel comfortable. But yeah, the primary or the just the physician can prescribe the medication. um, Roblox. Oh, someone's talking about Roblox.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I figured it was obviously it was some sort of game, but
Yeah,
obviously
DeAndre loves Roblox
that's something
and Keone.
you expect to see on a highway that's under construction. You expect to see robots.
Victoria says, right, it was a spur of the moment thing. Son-in-law does not understand autism and doesn't understand that every kid with autism is different.
Okay.
Yeah, he needs to
Yeah,
understand the black or white talking, say what you mean and mean what you say, and it has to be, no metaphors, just direct.
Mhm.
yeah, and the key is, if he's willing to listen to explaining these things, that's one thing. If he is not willing to accept your explanations and insists he knows it all, time to consider cutting him off.
Michelle says some pediatricians are also qualified to deal with childhood issues such as autism, ADHD, ADD, etc. That's
Yeah.
yeah, that's how ours is. The psychiatrist, he was the most informed about autism, most knowledgeable, but that wasn't his only specialty.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Um, Danielle says, my Daniel does not like to miss school at all. Like if he misses school, we need to be on a plane to Florida.
That is DeAndre. Oh,
yeah,
he wakes up in the morning. He knows too. He wakes up in the morning. It's like I gotta go to school. If he miss a day, it's all day. Like today, all day. Central High School, Central High School, Central High School. Oh my God.
And remember, not too long ago, he kept saying, no,
Right?
no school, no
No,
school.
no, no school.
Yeah. Emily went through that same thing. She went from not wanting to go at all, then she could not miss a day. Even if she like was sick, she could not miss a day. So we yeah, it was hard. But and then there was one point, I think it was after fourth grade, she wanted, no, it was after fifth grade, she wanted the elementary school. She didn't want the new school anymore. She wanted to go back to that school and she just kept crying for that school's name. Oh my goodness.
yeah. I think one thing, hey Tara, yeah, one thing too is again the matter of preparing children for what to expect. Um, and again, children's ability to comprehend, especially on the spectrum, varies considerably. But to the extent possible, preparing the child for the concept that you get promoted into a new grade. At some point, that promotion to a new grade is going to mean going to a different school.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
I think it was after the point that she went to the new school and I think she didn't care for it too much. Um, sometimes there's better years with the staff than other years, and
Yeah.
that was one of those years. So I know
Mm.
she wanted to go back, but yeah, it was hard. She just kept asking, and it's not something we could accommodate, you know.
You
Um,
gotta get down. Get down.
and Danielle says yes to asking over and over, and the anxiety of being, yes, oh my goodness, just and oh my goodness, reconfirming. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so we tried it. We even will talk to each other and say, "Oh, when are we gonna let her know we're going on a trip?" And we'll say, "Oh, we'll figure out something." Usually it's a day or two before. If it's something bigger, we'll kind of give her like a week to lead up towards it. But
Mm.
what we do is if there's a few different things. Like, say we're going on a trip, but there's a doctor appointment on Tuesday. We're leaving for a trip on Saturday.
Mm.
We won't say anything about the trip for sure until she gets to that doctor's appointment. So
Okay.
we'll lead up to the doctor's appointment the day before. So we will go in order so we don't skip over anything and throw a
Okay.
wrench into there.
Hmm. So again, you guys, if you're in here, make sure you thumbs up, show some love, please.
Uh, Selena
Selena
says he doesn't have
says,
a degree in anything to do with autism, though I've looked at his credentials. So he
okay,
he
well,
has to be a physician, a doctor
right,
to
right. As long as
prescribe.
that, because DeAndre's pediatrician, she doesn't. have a specialist background in autism either.
Hmm.
He sees a psychiatrist now, but she can prescribe any medications that he's on. She is able to do that. She understands DeAndre because she's been seeing him all his life, but she doesn't have a background in autism.
And same thing with Emily when she got meds. I think she was sixth or seventh grade,
Mhm.
and her pediatrician would it was prescribed by the psychiatrist, but the doctor
Right.
would prescribe it as well. On refills and things like that because he also was knowledgeable, but he wasn't a specialist
Right.
as far
Right.
as autism.
Hmm. But I would say if you're not comfortable, if you're more comfortable with a specialist, then definitely talk to his dad and let him know that you'd rather. Is he seeing a specialist now, though? Would be the question. Does he go to the physician just because I know DeAndre goes for his regular visits? He has to see his pediatrician, for his regular checkups, but he goes to the psychiatrist just for the autism and the ADHD to
and
see how.
and and even sometimes the thing to do is wait and see, you know, what how does the medication what does medication do for him? Because the medication helps him, then there really isn't any problem. If the
Mhm.
medication hurts him, then there's an issue. If it doesn't seem to do any good, or either good or harm, that's also an issue, but it's not as much of one as if it does harm. But sometimes it's just see what effect it has, and then because sometimes it might not be worth making an issue over if the if it's the wrong doctor, but it's the right medication and the right dosage.
Mhm.
I think too, um, that if you don't feel comfortable with him prescribing, ask him to refer out to somebody that he would recommend, and
That's the
as a
specialist.
specialist.
Right.
Hmm.
Right. Hmm. But also now that my teens are getting older, I try to teach them more about changing plans, or that sometimes life sometimes disappoints us. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's right. Very good. Yeah, yeah. There are things that you have no control over.
Mhm. Did I miss something as for we're mostly talking about the symptoms like ADHD, those things that
Oh, he's.
accompany autism.
I guess he's saying what
Medication.
meds are available for autism. Um, is that what he's asking? What ones?
Yeah, it looks like available for autism.
Yeah, we
So the
weren't discussing any specific medications just now.
Right.
so yeah. So it's like what Nita said. There's medications to treat the symptoms or to treat other comorbid
Not
things that are
quote
going on,
unquote
like
the autism itself.
yeah, like ADHD. And then
Mhm.
they do have two
Sleep
medications
disorders.
that are approved for autism, but of course it's not going to cure autism, but it will help with
Right.
the symptoms. Those two are Risperidol and Abilify. Those are the only two
Mhm.
that have been recommended and approved
So
for it.
remember that.
It
Don't get
doesn't mean
excited. There's no cures.
there's not. And then, and it doesn't mean that they are limited to those two medications. Doctors will just always talk to the doctors about the symptoms, why they're getting the medication, why they recommend certain medications. But those are the only two that are approved for that or recommended.
And see, I didn't know about the Risperidol.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Um, anyone have the talk with their loved one? I'm so dreading it because I know they won't understand, but I also want to make sure Raymond is now in the door. Aha! So, DeAndre, I know I've always mentioned it that, and I know it's one of those things that you have to talk, especially with our boys, because their bodies change. and they will notice that change. And I talked to DeAndre's doctor. Thank God he's not having, those little changes as much as before. But he does recognize when those changes happen. So I left it up to his dad. The doctor suggested, and this was from the doctor, that because he's a boy, you have to teach him privacy. Because they're our babies, sometimes they will be in public, and I know it's happened to me where DeAndre has actually pulled his pants down because these things
Yeah.
are happening and we're in public. But you have to drill it in their head, that if these things are you feeling this way, that's your private time, and I'm not suggesting that anybody do this, but you have to tell them about the birds and the bees because these things are going to happen. And even if you feel they don't understand, eventually, it they will recognize and know I can't just pull my pants down in public. I need to be in my own bedroom or the bathroom or something. But yeah, definitely try and have that talk with them. Anyone have any
Victoria.
suggestions? Wait. But for girls that's going through, changes, if you do, throw it in the chat because we also have to worry about our girls too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know
Uh,
one thing some mothers have done is they've is when the mother's having her period, she's taken her daughter into the bathroom with her so the daughter can see what her mother has to do, and
Hmm.
then explain this is going to be happening with you soon.
Hmm.
and then usually more often than not, girls are getting it earlier now. So by
Oh
the
yeah.
time, they start looking like a woman, they are already so used to it, of having their period and the routine and all of those things by that time that it's not even a thing anymore. Um, yeah. So we have okay, so Steve and I don't go all the time to pick up Emily. Steve is there. He'll always go, but I'll go with him sometimes. And so one time last week, she was walking out of the class and I heard her saying, "Okay, bye, love you." And I was like, "Oh, she accidentally said love you, like, oh, okay, this is like at home, right?" So
Mhm.
I asked Steve. Steve's like, "Yeah, I think I did hear her say that." So anyway, she comes, walks to us, we go home. And then so Friday, Steve picks her up and he said, "Yeah, remember she said I love you? She did it again. She said, 'Bye, love you.'" He said, and I looked over and she was giving somebody a hug, a boy or something, a hug. Or he
A
was no,
boyfriend?
he didn't see as much to know if she was giving him a hug or if he
Okay.
initiated the hug. But that's
Ah,
who she was talking to. So, because I even confirmed that it was like, say, Tuesday, and I
mm,
said, "Emily, were you saying I love you at school?" And she said, "Yeah." But if she was embarrassed because she accidentally said it, she would have said no. So I don't know what's going on, but we have,
feelings,
um,
those
yeah,
feelings
and
are in here,
so
liking
we have a
boys.
conversation coming up with because that happened Friday afternoon, and he came
Uh,
and talked to me. You should see Steve there.
I
So,
know
anyways,
he's tripping.
yeah, so we have a conversation to be had with the teacher though, because
Uh,
too, this is just like what Roxy said. It is scary. They are
yep.
adults. Everybody in that program is an adult. So I
Mhm.
mean, yeah, it is scary.
And then we have to make sure our loved ones know when it's inappropriate if someone touches, especially our girls,
Exactly.
and they don't understand. That's not. Let them know this is not appropriate, and if someone is touching
Mm-hmm.
you the wrong way,
Yep.
let someone know. Even with our boys, you
Yep.
know, have to instill that in them. So yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's
exactly.
very important. No matter what their level of understanding, just keep, you know,
Mm-hmm.
getting
Yeah.
it into them.
Victoria says he's not willing, knows it all, and yes, Charles, we are definitely pulling back. I don't
Yeah.
need this drama, and I don't need the kids upset for things they don't understand.
Right,
Exactly. Yep.
right.
Roxy says, I don't blame Emily. I want to go back to elementary school. Hey, me too.
When things were simpler,
I
simpler
know, right?
time.
um, Scott says, CDC in the United States is that approximately 1 in 54 children has been identified with autism. Do we think this number is correct? It seems really low to me. I would say definitely not,
Mm-mm.
because there's so many um, people with a without even knowing that they should probably be diagnosed. People I've seen, there was somebody that I knew had autism. I knew for the longest time, and they were even diagnosed without having autism. And finally, just like a few months ago, they finally got diagnosed as an adult. And I knew this person since they were small. So finally got diagnosed. But that's where if you don't keep pushing, you'll miss your diagnosis that you need.
And just like you were saying, Scott, the family, a lot of families don't want to believe it.
Hmm.
They don't want that stigma on their children, so they won't go get the diagnosis. And it could be years that pass by, until something finally clicks and says, someone says, okay. So yeah,
And
a
you
lot
get
of
some,
our babies are suffering because you know
and you get some extended family members who, for whatever reason, think that someone related to them being autistic somehow reflects on them, and
yeah.
and that's the silliest thing. But you can't really reason with someone who's being unreasonable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and like for example, I know uh, in my family, I know there's lack of diagnosis. I mean, if we look at our entire family, but whenever you see that, for sure there's been some that were had a lack of diagnosis, especially with girls, so it presents a
Right.
little different.
Mm-hmm.
Selena said, she said we missed her comment. She said he doesn't have a degree in anything autism. No, that was the last comment we seen of yours,
Yeah.
Selena.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
We
obviously he's an MD though, otherwise he couldn't
yeah.
prescribe medication.
Hmm.
Right.
So
As long as he has a medical background, they can basically prescribe anything. But
Hmm.
like we were saying, if you don't feel comfortable, then and you want to seek out a specialist, then I would suggest you talk to your husband, your child's father, and let him know that you would rather um, he be seen by a specialist.
Victoria says, yes, the anxiety and repeating and reconfirming is Molly. Yes,
yeah,
I've seen DeAndre. If he said Taco Bell, and if you say, you would tell him, okay, later, Taco Bell, later, okay, later, Taco Bell. And he'll just keep repeating it. Emily does the same exact thing. School tomorrow. Yep, school tomorrow. School tomorrow. Yep, school tomorrow. School tomorrow. And she'll just keep saying it. But you know what I did find that sometimes works with Emily is if I repeat exactly what she says. If I use the words, like I say, yep, yep. But then if
Mhm.
I say, yes, you have school tomorrow, she'll say it one more time and then she'll relax a little. But I
She'll
have
say
to say, yes, you have school tomorrow. Like she wants to hear me say it.
she wants
yeah.
to make sure.
Yeah, exactly. She will not. Oh, and then if you say it, oh man, you have to really mean it because no, she doesn't like that change.
Hi, Julie.
Hey, Julie,
Hi, Julie.
We're happy to have you here.
we're
We are.
definitely happy to have you. You guys, before we go on, real quick, book club. Anyone interested in joining our book club? I'm gonna put the link in. Um, Gonna put the link in here. We will be starting. Our first author is Barbara Santiago. And the good news is she made a updated companion to the book that I'll be giving away. I'm going to be giving away 5 copies of her book, and she'll have the journal to go with it. And we are going to do an interview. We're hoping to do this. I should be getting the books back within a week, so I'll do the name pool then. So you'll get the book and the journal, so you can start. We're going to start our reading in January. We're going to start the new year off with her. Information is um, in the book club group. So if you want to join, this is free for anyone who wants to join, wants to learn and share and talk more about autism, because all of the books will be about or related to autism. So the link is in the chat. We are down to our last few minutes, so this is the time. If you'd like to come on up and share some good news, some not so good news, you have a business or organization you want to talk about, you have an upcoming event you want to share with our community, you are more than welcome. I am going to put the link back in here. Okay, Linda, you can go on with the next comment while I'm putting up
Yeah.
Okay.
again.
And
Leslie and Roxy say happy holidays. Um, Selena says his, his father is constantly changing his meds and upped his Risperdal to 3 milligrams 2 times a day, and no, he's not seeing a specialist. So I'm thinking that you're saying the doctor told your husband to up it. Um, Scott says risperidone, sold under the brand name Risperdal, among others, is a medication primarily used to treat schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. It is also sometimes used to treat irritability in people with autism. In the context of autism, risperidone can be prescribed to manage symptoms such as aggression, self-injurious behaviors, and severe tantrums. It is a part of the class of medication as the typical antipsychotics, which work by altering the activity of certain natural substances in the
in the
brain.
brain.
And
Mm-hmm.
I can't see the rest of the comment. And that's exactly the example of something that's prescribed for autism to treat the symptoms of autism.
Yeah.
And that was one of the medications that we would move to if the medication that the psychiatrist prescribed did not work. And it was for the aggression, self-injurious behaviors, tantrums.
I want to ask Selena. You're saying so. Do you have? Does your husband or your child's father? Does he have guardianship over your son, where he has control of his doctor's visits, or are you able to make doctor's visits for him yourself? Because it would seem, if you guys can sit and, you let him know your concerns, if, that is really a concern of yours, I would definitely speak to him, or I would definitely get on the phone myself and see if I can get in touch with um, a specialist. Is he under your insurance, or is it that he's under his father's insurance? Are you able to make appointments for your child? Are you able to speak with the doctor? Because if you can speak with the doctor, you definitely can ask his doctor to recommend a specialist for you.
Yeah. By the way, I just want to mention I probably won't see this group again until the new year, because next week, Cindy and I have a 1 day assembly to attend on Sunday, and I
Okay,
doubt we'll be back in time to do the group. And I'm kind of assuming that there won't be a group the following 2 Sundays because there'll be
right. Because of the
Christmas Eve and
holiday.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of assuming then that the
So,
next
yeah,
one,
we would.
next Sunday, will be Sunday, January 7th. I'll be back by then.
Okay. And we will be back. What age are they? What is that?
I don't know. I couldn't figure that one out.
Okay.
Unless she was
What were
talking
you
about
referring to?
when you're
Oh, go ahead.
talking about the birds and the bees, maybe that's what she was talking about.
Oh, I don't know.
Danielle says after that, she says, I bought a book for Daniel to help. It is really good and walks them through step by step, some with the girls love cars.
Love girls, love cars. Ain't what the girls love.
Hmm.
Um, so social stories, I guess, or
Yeah.
leaning towards, with illustration, I guess, and social story. Um, Scott says there is a huge log from when we type
Lag.
to when it appears on the screen.
Oh, that's because we're going
Lag.
one by one.
Hmm.
So it's
Yeah,
not really a lag, Scott.
they're here.
Yeah, we see them, but we're going, as they come.
Hmm.
We have control of the what you see on the screen.
Uh, Raymond does have his time in his room, but he is wanting to hug on ladies everywhere we go, and he'll say something about how they look, and it's scary because sometimes they are with their husbands, and you
Oh wow.
never know how a man is going to react.
Yeah,
Exactly. And,
yeah.
it doesn't, some people, like I always say, you don't know what other people have going on, and I mean, some people will be tolerant to it, more tolerant to him because of his special need, but some won't care.
Some won't
Yep.
realize it, and they may just
Exactly,
think
yeah.
he's being a jerk. So
Mhm.
yeah, Roxy, I think it's time to sit them down and address that. Yeah, because that's important. That's
Yeah.
important.
One thing is understanding, the word stranger, and a woman whom he's not acquainted with, he doesn't know her name. That woman is a stranger, and you can't say things like, you're good looking. You can't say that to strangers.
Mhm.
Um, and you need to make that clear.
Mhm.
Danielle says, I purchased a book for both teens. They have one for boys and one for girls. It was extremely helpful.
Okay.
That's really neat. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Good
Yeah.
idea. Good idea.
Mhm.
So there you
Yeah.
go, Roxy.
Do you have
The
the names of the books?
yeah.
Paul says, sorry I'm late. This is for
Huh?
erectile
No. No,
yes.
this is not what this is, Paul. This is we're talking about our autistic loved ones.
And
Got to go all hubby phone call. Hope you all have a great week. You too,
you
Beth.
too. Have a
You too,
great week,
Beth.
Beth. Um, Roxy says the name of the book, please. Can you share the name of the book, please? Does it do? Uh,
Hi, Tina.
Let me get that.
I got it.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you.
pretty sure it's gone now.
Okay.
Um, where are we?
If you guys see any trolls in the chat, please let us know. Where are we at? Tina, hi, how are
Tina,
you?
hi. And then Selena says he doesn't see a specialist and they change his meds all the time. And after his outburst, he tells me sorry and just start crying uncontrollably. It's heartbreaking. That's what Emily used to do. She used to get so apologetic and emotional once she came out of the meltdown. Um, but medication is what I think fine. I think medication and growing up, I'm only saying growing up because she was going through the hormonal
Yeah.
shifting years.
Puberty.
And so when she got beyond that, things settled down there. Then her meltdowns kind of were controlled a little bit more too. But she still does need to take impulse control type of medications.
Mhm. So definitely talk to them and see if you guys can come to a compromise. Let them know that you would be a little more comfortable with them going to see a specialist. Okay, are you in the book club? Did you join the group, Roxy? Make sure you're in the group. I'm gonna do the book giveaway next week. Hopefully, she's signing the books and sending them back to me, and then
You too,
um,
Cynthia.
we're gonna get the journals to go with the book. So I'm gonna be giving away 5 of the books.
Uh, Selena says the medicine he mixes his risperidone with is very risky, like trazodone. And no, his father has custody, but under my insurance and his mother's, my ex mother-in-law is going to try to talk to him about changing his doctor.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's good. Maybe she can, talk some sense into him about that.
Right. Right. Okay. Last call. If anyone wants to come on up, the link is in the chat. You're more than welcome. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Same to you,
Thank you,
Roxy.
Roxy.
When you have to talk, what age are? When you have to talk. Well, I'd say DeAndre start as early when those hormones start changing. The earlier, the better. I mean, you can talk about what's in life. If you see your child is going through those hormonal changes, and that means they will probably be ready, and just depends on their level of understanding and what you feel comfortable with when you're ready. What you think, Mr. Charles? What's a
Yeah,
good age?
and that's the thing. I mean, I look back. My parents. That was one subject they had difficulty talking about, and it blows my mind thinking about that because how you produced your child.
Mhm.
Why should you have difficulty telling your child how you caused your child to come into the world? But they had an easy time talking about just about any other subject. My dad taught me all kinds of things about history before I ever learned them in school and so on. But just that was one subject they had trouble talking about. I know my daughter, I taught her early, and she knew everything when she was 4.
Mhm. There's the names of the books. What is happening to Eli?
To Ellie.
Things Ellie. Oh, I'm saying Eli. Things Tom likes. Formerly, what's happening to Tom? I found them on Amazon. There's another, but I can't think of it right now. Okay.
All right.
I will see you guys next week. I need to make dinner. Thank you, Teresa. See you next
Okay.
week.
Enjoy your
See
dinner,
you later,
Teresa.
Teresa.
Have a good night, Victoria. Thank you
Bye,
guys much. I
Victoria.
appreciate. We appreciate you too, Selena.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Is it okay to add people as friends in here? What do you mean? Oh, you can. You're more than welcome to share the live or invite people over. Yes, you are more
He
than
also
welcome.
might be asking if he can send friend requests,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'm not sure.
Is that what you're asking? I have a question. So my granddaughter was diagnosed in 2021 with Juber,
Joubert.
Jober, Bear,
Joubert.
Bear.
Joubert syndrome. What is that? Can someone explain that one?
I,
You know what
I
that?
don't know.
Oh,
Let me
along
check.
with her epilepsies that she has since uh,
Sorry.
2014. I knew she had autism, but didn't know what spectrum. April of this year, 2023, my granddaughter always diagnosed with the autism level 3. Now she has been also with fighting colitis. How would medication help her with her autism? And when would I know that she needs to be put on medication?
All right.
Well, she may
Joubert syndrome.
not
I pulled up something.
for the autism, she may not if you don't feel, the symptoms are disrupting her life. But I don't know what you will say that
I
again.
I pulled up something on it. I pulled up
Okay.
something. Let
It's
me read what I pulled up on Google.
Okay.
Joubert syndrome is a rare genetic condition characterized by abnormal brain development that includes the absence or underdevelopment of the cerebellar vermis, an area of the brain that controls balance and coordination, and a malformed brain stem.
And so she asked, how would medication help her with autism? And when would I know that she needs to be put on medication? All of that, I guess I would say, really, the doctor would be able to answer that.
Mm.
You discussing it with the doctor, because without seeing her, knowing her, or,
Right.
knowing her medical history, we wouldn't be able to say anything
Yeah, you
of
you
that.
would be the best judge of
Hmm.
that when you talk to your doctor because you can explain what's going on with her.
Hmm.
And
But
So
that
if you don't
say that
feel
word again, Jabert.
Joubert.
Joubert. Yeah, I read a little bit
That's something
more,
new
and
to me.
apparently Joubert syndrome drastically affects life expectancy. It says the median, age at which people with Joubert syndrome live is 20 years. So that's another thing that apparently affects life expectancy rather drastically.
Um,
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. You're welcome, Roxy. New Year, same to you. Have a great week. Be great to yourselves.
You too,
Yes.
Danielle.
you too, Danielle.
Uh, yeah. Okay, everybody. That is it for tonight. Thank you all. We will see you guys same time, same place next week. Maybe we'll have a focus topic. Well, actually, we had one this evening, right? We had two with the maybe and the hormone thing with our loved
Hmm.
ones to talk.
Yep.
Uh, great conversation. So, um, we will see you guys on the next go round. To those celebrate happy holidays. Happy holidays, Danielle. We will see you guys the next go round. Same place, same time. Join us on every Sunday except for holidays or other things that may happen. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 6 p.m. Central Time and 4 p.m. Pacific. Is that Pacific? Pacific time. So thank you guys. Any last words, Linda?
No, just everybody have a great week and be safe and stay warm. And be careful out there, Roxy. I hope everything's okay.
And, and
Oh,
again,
okay. The JS.
everybody, take care. You know, hopefully you'll be back next week with Nita and Linda. I'll see you all next year. See January 7th. I think will be the next time I'll be back here because I don't think there's going to be any live discussion on the 24th or 31st, and I won't be here next Sunday.
No, not on Christmas Eve. Nope. So okay, you guys, but remember if you're in the book club, I will be giving away 5 books. Barbie Santiago, My Autism Sentiment. And the book comes with a companion, will come with the journal to go with the book. So I'm hopefully I'll have the books. She's gonna sign them, and hopefully I'll have them back by next Sunday, and we will do the name draw in the book club group. But until then, everybody have a great rest of the week, or have a great start of the week. And thank you all. See you next time.
Bye, everyone.
All right, bye bye.